Welcome to Great Talking Entertainment. I'm your host, KJ, and this is the YouTube channel where I review movies and TV shows from all your favorite superheroes, including Marvel Comics, DC Comics, and much more. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Great Talking Entertainment official channel. Now let's go, baby. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my spoiler review for the new series on Netflix called The Abandons. This is episode 1 spoiler review. If you have not seen this, please pause this, check it out, and before you go, could you hit the thumbs up button, the like button on my YouTube channel? This will help my YouTube channel grow, and I truly appreciate it. Come back and let me know in the comments what you think about episode 1 of Netflix's Western series, The Abandons. So without further ado, y'all been warned. Now, let's get into it. This episode starts off with we see Angel Ridge, Washington Territory in 1854, where we get introduced to the family that is the main antagonist, which is the Van Welsons, which is Constance, who's the mother, and she's with her children. One, they make obvious her favorite son is Garrett, and we see her daughter Trisha, and we also meet the black sheep of the family, William, and they all have their issues and stuff. And then we also get introduced to the mayor as they discuss the declinings of the mining business, and is very worried about her investors that will, just pull out from their stock shares and stuff. And if nothing is done, the idea is that she's going to lose this business, which is based off her late husband's hard work and labor, of course. And so she wants to buy the silver rich land in the Hollows, which we learn that this is all the families in there are not actually blood related. They're they call them orphans, and they live more on the poor side of this. So this is like rich versus poor, but they have a business, they have cattle, they have things that they can profit and help feed, and that just in the Western times like this. And this the 4 individuals, the family who all turned down her offer, Constance's offer, she feels like she has to play dirty, and she pays some bandits to tear up the abandoned ranch and set fire, even release the cows, and they broke down a wall so the cows can fall off the cliff. And that's bad because, they can lose profit, That's how they make money off of this stuff. And, this is a rich family that, has a corrupt sheriff. But we in this episode, this series, I should say, we learn more about him. Just not a lot, but just a little bit. But we see what's kind of get down, and they're laying out the field of everything to give us a good idea of what's to come throughout this whole series. And I love the background. I love the scenery. I love the camera work to this. I love the whole cast who just put on a really good performance. And, this episode definitely feels like a soap opera at times. And I just love everything about that. Now, because this was so dirty, but luckily, Fiona and her children, who again are adopted, they save the cows, and things have got much difficult too, because we see this family disputing over some business, or not doing business with each other. And, everybody has certain family members that's going to make the situation a lot worse. So, the black sheep of the Van Wells family, William, he gets a little tipsy. And what caused him to get drunk and tipsy was he was going to flirt. He started to flirt with the daughter of Fiona, which the daughter is named Delilah, who, at one scene told William, like, hey, you're stupid. Obviously, you couldn't be the one to do what you did to happen to her family's, cow, and destroying property. And he took that offensive, and, we meet this native named Jack, who asked William, like, hey, I'll let you drink, but, like, don't start nothing. What does William do? He starts something. He gets drunk. He goes over to the abandoned family, and he starts trouble. And obviously, he smacks the daughter of Fiona, and he was going to do something without consent. I can't say the word. And even though she said no, but luckily her brothers came in and stopped it. And what happened was Fiona's daughter, Delilah, shanked him right behind him with a farm fork of a tool that they used to, this is what you would use to pick up hay, basically. And, he didn't make it. He didn't make it. And the actress is playing Fiona, Leanna Heaney. What a great performance. She really brought in this dialogue of a speech where Fiona is explaining to her daughter about her husband being drunk, and she implies she may or may not push him off the roof, or he must have fell off the roof, and that's how he came to his death. That's why he's no longer in the picture. But she literally pulls down William off the little, like, bed type thing that he was laying on, and just put her whole foot or boot on his throat and choked him out to death. And this took it to a whole new turn. So all four of these families got involved because Fiona was like, look, this is what I had to do because this was going down. And if this family would have found out that, any harm to William happened, this is, the Constance, she would have used that to take their land. And so they did a vote between stones and sticks. Stones, you tell the police. Sticks, you keep your mouth shut. You stay silent. And everybody, it led to a tie because each of different residents from that land, out of the four families, they were kind of like, some were like, no, we got to tell the police this is wrong. This is, murder, basically. And the other people were like, no, we can't tell. What he did was wrong. He shouldn't have even done that. And as he's right. But then we see, like, this older man who lost all his family, and his name is Paxton. And we found out later in this episode that, the Van Wells, the mother of that family, she got the dog killed, his little dog killed. So he was like, you know what? Let's vote for silence. And that's what they did. And what they did was they buried they made a graveyard, and they kept William's body way deeper down, but kept it above where the dead dog is at. So that in the same pit, just different, one was covered up, and then they made another hole on top of it. And that's how they keep the silence. And that's how this episode ended. And what a way to start it off already. We start off with a potential love entrance that went south. We are seeing now a family who's scared of another family who has power. And Fiona and Constance, these are two mothers, two women who are the alpha males of their family, and they're the ones who are willing to get their hands dirty. And what a crazy time and era to do that too, in the Western era. So, what a great episode. I loved it. Like I said, it right off the bat, things just went south, went dark, took a dark turn. I would never I expected scenes like that, but I didn't think they were just going to start it off with killing off certain characters. But I think now the whole show is based around how long can they keep the secret of William's death, basically. So what I think is, since it's only 7 episodes, I think throughout this series, I can already see, in my opinion, we're going to see a lot of episodes with a lot of guilt trip. And we're going to see a lot of characters that we're seeing, from Fiona's children to Constance's children. I can see that some are going to fumble, some are going to crack. But these two women, these two mothers, they're going to be the toughest one emotionally and mentally throughout this. So this is very exciting to watch. I cannot wait to watch episode 2 of this amazing series. I can tell already. And it definitely feels like a Western feel. And, I can nitpick that. I noticed like a lot of these episodes are shot during nighttime and not a lot in the daytime. But, that's just too picky to nitpick. But other than that, this is a really good start. They set up the tone for this. And the way this story could go, it can go many ways. But they're definitely letting you know and foreshadowing that there's going to be twists and plot twists and shocking moments just like this. And I think it's going to be interesting where they go with this. But if I had to give this episode a 1 out of 10, I'm going to definitely give this a 6. Really good start. Didn't give us a lot about the main characters, but they did a really good job at introducing and giving you an idea on each character's personality and how they're going to act. Like we have the arrogant ones, we have the young love, we have the responsible ones, we have the older generation who is trying to keep peace, trying to stay underneath the radar. And there's going to be some passionate moments that throughout this, and obviously heartbreaking moments. So definitely a great way to set it up. So episode 1 to me just feels like they set up the tone and where they're going with this, and really cool stuff. So I can't wait. But this is my spoiler review, and thank you so much. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Great Talking Entertainment official channel. Subscribe, hit that notification button so you can always be updated with all my latest content. Thank you guys, and peace out.